Sactown Sports 1140.
All right, we got to get tonight in the NBA, but now all of a sudden there's something for Kings fans to talk about on social media other than the win all day, as he often will do. A guy that I generally am entertained by, but sometimes he just flies off and says dumb things, which I can really identify with. Bill Simmons.
Oh, boy.
Has posed a question. Have you seen this, Jason?
I have not.
Just zoomed through Kings Hornets. Dennis Smith Jr. being a solid rotation guy is definitely stupefying. Anyway, Davion Mitchell was so good for Sacramento down the stretch that it begs this question. What happens if the Lakers offer Russ's expiring and their 2027 first to Sacramento for De'Aaron Fox? Now, he answers his own question. He says, answer, Sacramento says no, unless the 27 and 29 firsts are on the table unprotected. My take, I'd actually trade Fox for Russ plus those two Laker firsts. I'm getting 2023 cap space plus two massive assets from a poorly run team plus more Davion Mitchell minutes. I'm just in a better spot long term.
This is the Lakers suck yesterday. They suck again today.
What do you think, Jason?
I have a lot of thoughts. Who says no? I think the Kings do, first and foremost.
Oh, I think they do too. But here's, listen, this has to be asked.
Right.
Do they say no for the wrong reasons? Do they say no because Vivek and pressure and Monty and lame duck and all that? I mean, from basketball only points of view.
Well, let's. I mean, again, to me, the way I look at a trade is like, okay, first off, I think when there's trades, this is put out there by, I would say a respected media member. It's not like some crazy, Twitter thought where it's like, hey, can we get LeBron for 4 second-round picks, something crazy like that.
Yeah.
So the structure of it, then you go, okay, honestly, what's the win in that for the Kings? Westbrook is just nowhere near the player he once was. Yes, he would expire. The contract would expire.
Yes.
I feel like your short-term goals then change. Whether they're right or wrong, it's clearly a goal to make the playoffs this year. I don't know that helps in that. I would say it doesn't help in that in the short term. And then looking at the 27-29 Lakers pick, that is so far from now. I have no idea what version of logic tells me the Lakers are going to make a run at this with LeBron and then probably be in some sort of rebuilding mode.
Yeah.
Probably. But the history of that franchise has not been in very many rebuilding modes.
Sure. They
have had the luxury of having almost all of the greatest players in the history of the league at some point.
Yes.
So I know. And then the other part of it, and I don't think a GM should do it this way, but the history of this franchise would suggest that Monty McNair would likely in 2029 not be here. That's the history of the franchise. I hope he is. I have nothing against him. So you're doing something that you wouldn't be here for? I don't know. Just there's way more no's to this than any remote yes for me. Anything, not that you need to talk me out of it, but any yeses for you there on why the Kings should do it?
No.
No, I mean, is there? The Laker picks?
Okay, I'll tell you what.
No, I mean,
I'll make a case.
Sure.
Okay. I will play defense attorney here.
Okay.
Just to do it.
Yeah, sell it.
Nobody get triggered. I'm just doing my best to play defense attorney. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Both first-round picks and Russell Westbrook. So here's the thing. You're getting no value out of Russ. In fact, if this trade happened,
buy him out,
I'd buy him out.
Okay.
Or just say, Russ, go. You're on vacation, dude.
Okay.
That's $47 million. Because remember, you're getting Fox's max deal goes. That's $47 million that's coming off the books. When you add in Harrison Barnes's money and all that, that means next year, as of right now, the Kings, without Barnes still, the Kings are on the hook for $106 million. Without that, with Russ expiring, they're on the hook for $59 million next year, and that would still have them Sabonis, Herter, Holmes, Monk, Murray, and Mitchell under contract as a core. Just to give you an idea of $59 million and what that does, and by the way, you're going to have to re-sign DeMontis Sabonis at some point, $59 million next year. The Clippers and Golden State both have 193 million committed next year. The lowest team this year, the team that's bottoming out on payroll, the San Antonio Spurs, 95 million this year.
But I would have an objection. Aren't you the same attorney that said this organization can never sign free agents?
I am. And that's
just paper money at that point.
That's the problem. You've got to
play money.
They can sign free agents.
Yeah.
They just can't sign it without massive overpay or getting lucky. Malik Monk was great, but that's not Vlade.
Right.
So you're trading Fox's minutes for Davion Mitchell's minutes. That is a downgrade, but you're also trading that for that cap space in the summer, which, by the way, doesn't need to be used to sign free agents. It can also be used, for example, to trade somebody to bring in lots more salary or to gather more picks. There's a lot of stuff you can do with cap room. Davion Mitchell's now your starting point guard. You pair him with Kevin Huerter. All right. You've got Keegan Murray in there, Domantas Sabonis, and you're going to have to go out and get yourself a brand new 3. So you go out and you get yourself a brand new 3. Maybe you move Keegan Murray up to 3. I don't know. Put Sabonis at the 4, add in a 5. I mean, you have a lot.
Wait, what was the deal again?
It was Russell Westbrook and 27 and 29 first rounders for De'Aaron Fox.
Oh, you're already going forward with Barnes.
I'm saying
why I was like, wait,
because Barnes is gone. He's a free agent at least after this year.
I was confused.
You have those 2 picks, which you don't have to keep. You can trade. Right. And I will say this: it is a long ways away. But I also think the Lakers, if they're not the worst run franchise in the NBA, they're the second worst run franchise in the NBA. I don't have a lot of confidence in that. And you can move those picks as well. I think there's a lot of things. And by the way, you haven't won with De'Aaron Fox.
That's true.
In 7 years.
Yeah, that's true.
Going on 7 years. You now have a defense first point guard in there, and you have the rest of the team, and you're starting low. Nobody's making tons of money, and you build around Sabonis and whoever you grab at the 3. You're just basically rearranging deck chairs. That's the best.
That's the sell. Yeah.
That's the best sell I could do.
I mean, I don't like this. I wouldn't do it. But if they did it, honestly, you know what I would do? I actually would play Westbrook.
Really?
I would.
Yeah.
I mean, if anyone else was interested in him, if anyone else, and then just, goodbye, expiring. But
do you want Westbrook playing off the bench, which is what I would do?
No, I'd probably start him.
You'd start him over Mitchell.
Guess. Yeah, but I mean, again, I'm not even doing this deal, but I'm trying to wring the towel dry of everything he has left.
I mean, and this is the type of we're just having fun with Bill Simmons' tweet. But this is a type of conversation that scares the hell out of Kings fans. They hate it. They get angry at it. Don't you dare. I love me, my De'Aaron Fox. Right. He's my guy.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it.
And listen, I don't think I would do it either, but I'm not laughing at it as much as a lot of other people are, because that is a lot of money off your books. That is a dramatic move. You just have to know what your targets are. And honestly, Jason, when I'm looking at the offseason and who's a free agent, I'm looking at Kyle Kuzma. Not that attractive. I totally get it. I'm looking at Nikola Vucevic. That'd be interesting to pair him up with Sabonis. Not that you're going to get much help defensively, but now all of a sudden you do have a stretch 5. I'm looking at a number of guys out there that I could add in. Again, even smaller signings. Jay Crowder. There's some guys on the list that aren't going to blow people's socks off. But if I were going to do something like that, it would be the first in a series of moves I would be making to change the defensive culture of this franchise and start bringing in some guys that were incredibly hard-nosed to build around the Mitchell, Sabonis, Keegan Murray, whoever the Kings draft next year. Because for me, I do think that we've lost the battle when it comes to, do you want to be a long-term contender or do you want to make the plan? I think most people in this town, they just want to get into postseason basketball and they don't care.
Right.
But I do worry that sometimes the agendas for getting in the play-in versus the agendas for sustained, consistent championship contending, those roads don't always intersect.
They don't always, but I think the way they're financially set up right now and roster construction, I think they have a chance to do the plan. I mean, a chance. If you don't make the playoffs or play in, then it's irrelevant. But if we would say, I think it's fair to say their 4 best players are Fox, in any order, Fox, Sabonis, Murray, and Huerter.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's exactly right.
They're all signed.
Yes.
For at least one more year. Sabonis has come off the soonest.
Yes.
Fox makes a lot.
Yes.
But he's played like an all-star, hasn't been one.
Yeah.
I just think they're financially better set up. They're in the good age group.
So.
They've kind of got it laid out nicely, but you can have it laid out nicely and win 35 games and be a non-playoff team that's like, hey, nice roster, but you got to get results.
So you're getting 35 wins again.
Right.
Real quick before we break, Earl, it's a good time to bring this up. I don't think I've addressed this since it happened. Earl brings up last year right before the trade deadline. There was a quote I got killed for when I said, every day the Kings don't trade De'Aaron Fox is an indictment on the front office. Let's look back at that quote real quick in retrospect. Guys, I completely stand by the quote. I didn't think they were going to trade Tyrese Halliburton. The quote probably should have been, every day this front office doesn't trade one of those point guards is an indictment on the front office because that wasn't sustainable. And they did end up trading the guy I did not think in a billion years they would trade.
Right.
And they did that. It wasn't sustainable. It was an indictment on the front office. One of them had to go last year to get value. It just turned out that it was Tyrese and not De'Aaron Fox. And I got to imagine, listen, I love me some Fox. I'm wearing a Fox jersey right now. But put a poll out there and see who would you have rather traded for Sabonis last year, Fox or Halliburton? How close do you think that one's going to be? Not amongst Kings